Markets have been pumping with Bitcoin making new all-time highs, but there's one problem. Kaspa hasn't been climbing with it. Everyone has been crying about Kaspa and its price action. For weeks there was FUD all around Twitter. Kaspa even fell under 10 cents. Here's the thing. We've all been spoiled by Kaspa's up-only price action throughout the entire bear market. It was once known as the best performing cryptocurrency. There was some good recognition when Kaspa had its KRC 20 launch, and it even made it to the top 30 cryptocurrencies by market cap. But what's happening now? Will Kaspa climb? What are the catalysts? Where is Kaspa headed? Well, there's some big things that we need to talk about, and we'll discuss all of this and more in this video. This may be the most alpha-packed Kaspa video in a while, so you might want to stick around until the very end. If you want to make the most out of this crypto cycle, you can also check out the FireHustle VIP Discord. There you can connect with the like-minded individuals, access private sale opportunities, enter exclusive giveaways, and much more. We actually have the final round of Kaspa merch giveaways going on right now that you don't want to miss. Follow the link in the description below if you're interested in learning more. Now, smash the like and subscribe buttons, turn on post notifications, and let's get started. Let's jump into the Kaspa price chart. So people are growing impatient because Kaspa hasn't made a new all-time high in a while. Honestly, I don't blame you because Kaspa has been on easy mode since the beginning. And right when things are getting crazy all around with Bitcoin heading over $90,000, you're wondering where your Kaspa gains are at. Well, first of all, we have to remember that Kaspa was born in the middle of a bear market where everything was bleeding out. But this project came out on top. In my last video when I covered Kaspa in September, I did mention that we could see Kaspa drop to a low in the 11-cent range. So if you saw my video, you had a bit of a heads up. Only it actually went slightly lower for a short period of time and then bounced back. So where is this thing headed now? Well, before we get into the Kaspa specifics, we need to take a look at things on a macro level. One basic indicator that I like to take a look at is the Bitcoin dominance. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is sitting at around 61%. So for a while, it was in the 59 to 60% area, and we're now seeing it push up. In the previous cycles, we first saw the Bitcoin dominance hit 70%, and altcoin season only started to take off once this percentage started free falling. Of course, this time around, there are many more altcoins, so it may or may not go that high. But once we see this metric really start to tank, that could mean that it's the start of altcoin season. And we'll start to see more funds funnel into altcoins like Kaspa at this time. Now, before we get into the super juicy alpha, I quickly want to mention happy birthday to Kaspa. Kaspa just celebrated their 3rd birthday. It feels like we were in the bear market just yesterday, and time really does fly. To celebrate Kaspa's birthday, the Kaspa marketing crew, Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation, and Ballet Crypto have teamed up to integrate Kaspa into their cold storage solution. Look at that beautiful design created by Rubarbarian, a Kaspa ambassador, and his team. I love it. This is a limited edition silver coin. 500 reservations are required for this to come to life and become available in the Ballet shop. And I'll leave the link in the description if you guys are interested. But now let's get back into the juicy alpha and specifics of Kaspa. So we recently saw the launch of KRC 20 or Kaspa native tokens on the mainnet, which was a big step forward. There are millions of transactions processed on the Kaspa mainnet, which took the network activity beyond usual amounts. It's a pretty big deal for a proof of work network, and it's given you all the ability to shill Kaspa memes everywhere, especially to me on X or Twitter. I actually got into Nacho because of you all and your peer pressure. But right now, these things are going through a bit of a correction, which is always helpful. But all jokes aside, KRC 20 was just a warm-up for Kaspa. And if you've been following all of my Kaspa videos, then you know that I've been waiting for this one major milestone. And that's Kaspa smart contracts. So imagine a layer 2 ecosystem that allows you to do more than just send and receive transactions or mint new tokens. You could have native dApps, protocols, and tons more. Kaspa would become one of the top contenders with other leading networks like Ethereum and even Solana. And it's finally building out their smart contracts. So it almost feels unbelievable to say. If you've been following me on Twitter, then I've been giving some updates about this in real time. And if you don't follow me, then go and smash the follow button right now. But basically, Kaspa's Chris Hutchinson, who is a global Kaspa ambassador, announced all of this in a Twitter space with blockchain banter. But the question you're probably wondering is, will all of this be completed in time for the bull run? And will they be able to pull all of this off successfully? Well, let's break down everything we need to know about Project Sparkle. Yes, that's the name of the smart contract update, Project Sparkle. So in this space, they discuss how Kaspa's main devs are laser focused on building a rock solid, reliable base layer, prioritizing infrastructure that's built to last. In other words, their main focus is making sure that Kaspa itself performs as best as it can. Their goal is to make sure that Kaspa remains in tip-top condition and only improves with the introduction of smart contracts. Personally, this is something that I liked hearing. Kaspa has so far been known for its speed and efficiency, which can sometimes be hindered when adding on capabilities like smart contracts. So knowing that the team is laser focused on the Kaspa fundamentals is really reassuring. Remember, this isn't just another blockchain adding standard smart contracts. Kaspa has come this far as a standalone project in a relatively short amount of time. And if they're adding smart contracts, they want to make sure it's a well-researched, engineering-driven approach to push what's possible in DeFi and much more beyond. Now, Sparkle is being undertaken by a team of community heavyweights who have been shaping Kaspa from the start. They've actually formed a core team with expertise across the board, and one of the major points here is that they're building Kaspa smart contracts from the ground up. They're not just using technology from other networks, but they're actually taking learnings from them. And listen to this. Here's something that no one could have expected. A majority of this project will be funded by KSPR with a commitment of $1 to $1.5 million. So with this funding, they can ensure that they build this out with top tier talent and complete tasks at a faster pace. They also have the Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation at their side, but we'll have to wait and see in what capacity they support this project. Now, take a step back and think about it. All of this is planned to go down with a system that can achieve thousands of transactions per second on a proof of work system, something that doesn't exist anywhere else. We're talking about a unique, high-performance smart contract model based on proprietary zero-knowledge technology. This will make Kaspa a DeFi powerhouse. But how exactly will it work? Well, this thread on X breaks it down pretty well. He basically says that Sparkle is built as a closely connected extension of Kaspa's main layer. You might consider this a layer 1.5 system that will allow Sparkle's smart contracts to work smoothly with Kaspa's fast proof of work network. The goal being to have more scalability and security. It'll also use zero-knowledge proofs, which is an important factor. So if you aren't familiar with zero-knowledge proofs or ZK proofs, it's a concept where something can be proved without actually revealing the information itself. It helps keep things private, like verifying a transaction without showing the details. It's also useful for letting systems do complicated calculations while sharing less data. They also mentioned that they're creating a new system in Rust that's optimized for real-world business logic, gaming, and more. That's pretty big. Imagine Kaspa becoming more than just a layer 1 narrative, hitting some of the biggest narratives in the space like gaming and real-world asset tokenization. And they're doing all of this while keeping ease of use in mind for developers. For example, they're working on an SDK to allow anyone to build layer 2 solutions or add functionality. Now, in the Twitter space, Chris mentioned that they've consciously chosen not to use existing EVM tech. And while it's not EVM compatible yet, the vision is to integrate ZK EVM with Kaspa down the road. And they want the platform to be practical and user-friendly for developers. So now that we have a good idea of what they're building, what does this all mean for KRC20? Well, everything will be migrated seamlessly. KRC20 can be seen more as an interim solution, and they'll provide a way to migrate tokens to Sparkle smart contracts. But one of the pressing questions on everyone's minds is when? When can we see smart contracts? Well, first of all, patience. There's something extremely important that was mentioned in the space. So for smart contracts to be implemented, there are two major elements that must be in place. First is the Crescendo hard fork. And second is zero-knowledge support in Kaspa. They say that zero-knowledge support can be worked around, but the Crescendo hard fork is the key to kickstarting smart contracts on Kaspa. And if you're not familiar with the Crescendo hard fork, The team unveiled their roadmap for it not too long ago, and it'll basically allow the mainnet to function at the planned speed of 10 blocks per second. They also just had a development update for it. They reached their last major milestone before moving on to a 10 BPS node configuration stage. So that's pretty big because it means that they're getting closer and closer to their mainnet deployment, and that's when smart contracts can be implemented as well. So based on all of this information, they're hoping to have something functional within 6 to 8 months. So are you feeling bullish yet? This is one of the most awaited developments in Kaspa history, and it has all the signs of an Ethereum-style DeFi explosion. With the infrastructure in place, the developer community will follow. And when that happens, Kaspa's network value could skyrocket. This is a project to keep on your radar because once Sparkle goes live, we might just see the next big thing in DeFi. Remember Ethereum's unforgettable boom in 2020? Think back to when Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem went from just a few protocols to a full-blown financial powerhouse with lending, trading, and yield farming taking center stage. The total value locked in Ethereum's network skyrocketed from 2020 to 2021 alone. That kind of growth was driven by developers piling in to build new applications, users hungry for returns, and incentives that brought massive liquidity into the ecosystem. But here's the thing, Ethereum struggled under the pressure. Network congestion sent fees through the roof. My hope is that Kaspa can sidestep those issues with a high performance system from day one. But of course, with any tech, it takes time and testing to iron out any details and move closer to an improved product. The true test will be Kaspa's speed and reliability once smart contracts are added. If the network can sustain speeds with little to no outages, then I see this as a big winner, but only time will tell. Overall, there is a ton of bullish news for Kaspa, and remember, Kaspa's level of accessibility right now is not the best that it could be. While they've been announcing more exchange listings, big players still aren't here. No Coinbase, no Crypto.com, and no Binance. So what will happen when we do see these exchanges list Kaspa? Think of all the people that would be able to access Kaspa and buy on these platforms, especially during a bull cycle like we're seeing right now where things are starting to ramp up. Usually apps like Crypto.com and Coinbase start to climb the App Store rankings, and that's when retail is flooding in. And aside from those two apps, we also need to keep our eyes on Kraken, which according to this post by Jim is stealing the #1 spot for finance apps in the US. Why is this a big deal? Well, in another post, he shows Kraken's roadmap for what will be listed with Kaspa on the list. So you can see it's starting to happen. So if we see some listings soon, everyone's eyes will be on Kaspa. Patience is the name of the game. Remember, we'll soon see Bitcoin dominance fall and funds rotate into altcoins. With lots of network upgrades and improvements coming for Kaspa and more use cases in the making, alongside super bullish sentiment in the air, I personally think that there's a lot more to look forward to when it comes to Kaspa. That's all, folks. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to Kaspa, but the focus in today's video truly was on Kaspa smart contracts, which is a huge development. If you want more videos like this about Kaspa, then let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Remember, the crypto space comes with high risk and none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.